Hey everyone, how are you doing? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. I'm going to be conducting a daily energy reading for the collective, so do take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So I was getting this feeling of like a sort of like a toss up between, do I kind of hold on or do I let go? And it's not like it's sort of toying with the idea. This has been like, this is a very sort of very deep, personal type of feeling. Because the thing is, once you let go, that's it. And I just feel that you're at the point where you really can't afford to go back. You don't really want to go back. So let's kind of look into this energy. Remember, this is timeless. You may have already done this already, and it's just like confirmation. Or this is something that you are strongly considering. So, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Okay, so I hope you guys are really looking after yourselves, you're doing really well. Let's just see what type of situation that this holding on and letting go is all about. So, deck has been shuffled, and let's get in. So, the first card that we have got, so we'll just set so you can see the deck. First card that we've got, holding on. But is this out of choice though? The Devil card in the upright position. And I was hearing that song by The Clash, Should I Stay or Should I Go? It really feels like severe obligation, feels like survival mode. And it really is, like chained to something where I can't be dealing with this anymore, And the way how I see the person on this side, the male sort of energy, male figure, the way he's got his hand extended as if he's sort of having a conversation with this person here who's, I'll be honest, totally like fast asleep, really and truly not either listening, very much under the programming, and this one's trying to be like, look, you need to wake up and look at the situation. I don't really feel that this is my life anymore. I don't really feel that this is where I want to be. But because of the way how this system is, like, anyway, let's move on to the next card, shall we? We've got the Three of Swords. I just feel that it's just so like, oh my God, like soul sucking, like had enough. And I feel that it's just kind of like really hurting to kind of stay on. The longer you stay on in something, the worse it's feeling. And it's just like, really and truly, you've reached the end of your tether here. And it's, should I stay, should I go, should I hold on, or should I let go? But I don't know why I'm also getting this feeling of like a bit of an Eight of Swords energy as well, because with the Eight of Swords, yeah, you may be bound to something, but really and truly, you do have the power within you to actually let go. You do have that option of letting go, so you're not really tightly bound to something. And to me, this is all an illusion. It's reverse psychology. You don't really have to stay in there if you don't want to. And if you are in a position or a situation where you have been really trying to convince somebody else to come with you and they're choosing to stay, you can't really force them. I feel like, this is very, very, very common situation that most of us are in. And unfortunately, the cards are kind of confirming that. So the Three of Swords is about the disappointments, like the utter, I just can't believe, like how can you not see? But this person, the way how she's sort of standing is as if like she's under some kind of spell. You know? She's under some kind of spell and she literally is a pawn to the system. Just keeping it upright. So following the Three of Swords, we have got the Justice card in the reverse. So it's corruption, it's bullshit, it's the way how everything is at the moment, and it's like, that's it. I've had enough. Now it's interesting the way, and it's funny because I was thinking about the Four of Swords here. I was thinking about the Ace of Swords with regards to clarity. Now the Ace of Swords would be in the upright position. These swords are going down. But then we do have a sword here in the Justice cards, this person's hand, which is going down. It's almost as if that could create a Four of Swords where, movement is, separation is concerned. And I did actually see the Four of Swords in the upright position twice as I was shuffling the deck. So I do feel that this is something that's been really on your mind, thinking about this greatly, and now coming to the conclusion of like, look, do I hold on? Do I go? What do I do? So the next card that we've got is the Wheel of Fortune in the upright position. It's interesting, I can see another sword. And I feel the time has just come where it's just like, something has to change. And I kind of see the way how you've got sort of like this devil energy sort of like represented there. But now instead of him being on the top now, he's at the bottom. And now it's almost as if like this is a kind of powerful moment in your life where you as the individual now have to, and I don't mean to sound selfish, but it's as if you're going to have to make moves for yourself. You're going to have to kind of make that decision. You've already thought about it. So now the next step now is, what to do. The next card that we've got is the Strength card in reverse. So this can be looked upon as either not really having the full strength to move on, to resist this kind of energy, or this is the energy that is actually weakening. It really does depend on your perception of what is holding you back, or are you holding yourself back? Do you have the power within you, the confidence within you? Sometimes having a little bit of ego to kind of move away. Or is it still sort of like in the pipeline? The card underneath the bottom of the deck is the King of Swords. So we've got another sword here as well for clarity. So this is kind of like not really looking at it from an emotional perspective, but more of a logical one. This also can be a legal situation that you are currently facing. And again, this can be about, separation. This can be about divorce. This can be about ending a contract. I wouldn't go as far as saying a soul contract. I don't know why, lately I've been looking at a lot of things from a different lens, from a different perspective, from a higher self perspective, but it's been very different. And the term soul contracts and, being here to learn something and all this, it's just, I don't know, I'm just having a bit of and I feel that this is where, not sort of like saying exactly what I've, like going through what I've actually said, but you're starting to look at things very differently yourself. And you have every right to, but you're looking at it where, it's make it make sense. is it feasible to stay in this situation where you're sort of like hand to mouth every month? Or is it more feasible to kind of like, I won't say like burn the bridges, but kind of make that preparation to move? Maybe your plans need to be a little bit more strengthened, your strategy needs to be a little bit more strengthened and worked on so that you know exactly what to do. So let's sort of expand on this energy, this reading. Let's see, alright. So guys, just kind of separate the cards. Okay. Alright. So for the Devil card, we have got the Devil card, interesting. We have got the Star card in the reverse. Like, you're losing hope here. But don't lose hope in the fact, in a thing of like, oh my gosh, like, and fall into despair and stuff like that. Because that's not really going to be helping the situation. You know, you still need to have hope here. Because I feel that hope is the only thing that's going to help to maintain your mental health, your sanity. If you lose hope and you know you're about to walk away and lose everything, then that's going to put you in a real bad place. But you need to kind of have mental strength here, mental clarity, a direction, a plan, and a belief system that you can make this. Because why? You're sovereign. You're reclaiming back your power. The Three of Swords is the Tower card in the reverse. So it's almost as if like this feeling of this shift is kind of like inevitable, it's expected, because with the Tower card in the upright position, it can also be something that is sudden, it's out of the blue, it's very, very unexpected, very shocking. But in this instance, and the way how the energy is, it's as if like this is something that's expected here. And also how you're feeling inside. On another note, this can also be about avoiding this disaster if you decide to stay there. Because if you notice the way how he's got this fire in his hand, and then you've got the fireball here as well. So you really don't really and truly want to be caught up in all that nonsense, right? So let's have a look at the Justice card. We've got the Three of Cups in reverse. This really can be about breaking away from a connection here that was good in the beginning, but then because of this third party interference, it's really kind of separated things. There's an indifference here. Big time indifference. And you're no longer sort of like playing the part anymore just to keep people happy and their reality, their world going, because as their world is going in a really nice way, inside your world is crumbling away. And it's not really fair, is it? You know? Gone are the days of where you have to make sacrifices in order to help, in order to not really help, but to pacify others, to help to sort of keep their reality, you know, sustained. And whilst you're feeling really unhappy and disappointed and bitter. So I feel that as time's gone by, like where you were and what you were doing, it's turning into bitterness. And I feel that if you know that that kind of energy is coming up, then rather than you go into from, you know, disappointment to bitter, resentment, then hate, it's best just to kind of move away from all of this, because that can be really, you know, not really a nice place to be in, headspace wise and heart space wise. So let's have a look at the Wheel of Fortune, and we have got the 8 of Discs in the upright position. So this is a time when you really need to start making it work. Focus on yourself. As I said, like if others, you can't force other people to kind of see things your way. And, you know, that's the harsh reality of it. It might dent the ego slightly. You know, you might have to swallow your pride and think, you know, bloody hell, it's true. But this is you now needing to focus on your mastery. And I see this as a firm sign of letting go and losing the grip, losing the strength of, you know, this bound sort of energy. The Strength card in the reverse has the Six of Cups in the reverse. Wow. So this is really about some kind of connection here that really and truly has been infiltrated. Some kind of intervention here happened that wasn't a very good intervention. But an intervention happened all the same. It depends on this intervention was either good or bad. Because you've got the Wheel of Fortune here that to me represents like a divine intervention here, divine timing. Something really had to give. Underneath the bottom of the deck, we have got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, you know, the saying about should I stay, should I go? Now, in the upright position, it can also be classed as, you know, walking away, feeling very disappointed, unfulfilled, you know, really sad and XYZ. But also, with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, this is also seen as really having a relief, happy to believe in a situation behind. Oh, I'm so glad I left. It's almost like breathing a sigh of relief. You know, getting that fresh air back into your lungs and taking a bold step forward to walk, you know, on your own path. And I feel that this is something that you might have to do. And I see 88 here. 88 is very significant. So this is definitely, you know, where you're going. I was going to pull the Inner Temple Oracle because I know that there were a few cards that will relate to this energy, but I was more drawn to the Ancient Stones, where it was more giving me this energy of you needing to kind of get grounded and build a foundation, get yourself prepared. So we're going to have a look at what the Ancient Stones Oracle will have to say about that. The first card that I've got is the Holy Mountain, Soul Calling, Sacred Journey, Pilgrimage. I really feel that, you know, this is like where you've been called to move into a different direction. Your spiritual awakening, moving away from the systems, waking up and realizing how shitty it is. And it's like, yo, yeah, I've done this for a stint, I've done this for a time, and now it's literally time for me to move on. Okay. The next card that I've got, next message, the Guardian Stone, Awakening, Progress and Initiation. So I do feel that you're at the point now where you are needing to master something here that you have been going through for a very, very long time. I would say if it's not more than 10 years, you're talking about half your life. Unless you're someone who's like, you know, a younger person sort of thing. But this has really been going on for a very long time, this initiation. And it's encouraging you to kind of like, or daring you to kind of look at something from a different perspective. And that's also a part of the initiation, the test, you know. And you may be somebody who hates using that word as, oh, I hate being tested. But I feel in this instance, this is, you know, it's almost as if you've been like a second time around. Maybe this is another sort of time that you may have tried before and it didn't work, and then like it's coming back around again. The card that wants to speak on top of the deck is Energy Rising, Vitality, Confidence, Power, Decisiveness. So this, should I stay or should I go? I feel that you know the answer already. And if you've been reading this far, I feel that this is confirmation that, yeah, And I don't normally like to say that or be that real ballsy in a reading, because I always like to just sort of leave it open-ended, but this really feels very strong and powerfully aligned right now to say, yes, this is a confirmation. I'm going to just, next card that wants to speak, and we have got Not Forgotten. Messages from Spirit, unbroken connection. So I feel that where you were under this kind of energy of this spell, where it kind of kept you asleep, and then you've had this awakening, and then you're realizing that you always had a different type of connection, not this, but more of a soul calling, a connection back to who you really are. Soul retrieval, soul return. And you're starting to remembering who you are. And I feel that this is, you're probably somebody who, is trying to do so much for humanity and really can't understand what's going on, or it's really just like wilding you out. And it's like, you have to do something. Yeah, we all have to do something, but it's down to the individual in order to do something. Not everybody's going to be able to wake up on this journey at the same time. It would be wonderful, of course. But each individual has a different path to take and a different experience. The last card that wants to speak for this reading to close it out is find your center. Stay true to you. Call it to you. And just feel that this is where you really, again, if you were feeling a bit indecisive, then this is you needing to get grounded. Find yourself. Find your center. And whatever it is, calling it to you would be the signs. Show me the way. Show me a sign and a synchronicity, and I'm going to follow that path. And then the card underneath the bottom of the deck, we have got Stone of Destiny, Life Path, Ambition, Passion, yes. And again, we've got the sword here. So I do feel that, again, it's you, like this can even be like the universe handing you that sword of truth as to what you have here with the King of Swords. And that is for you to probably dig that sword into this, to create that Four of Swords, to create that separation, to break away from this connection and reconnect with who you really and truly are before the great forget. So this is what I've got for you. I hope that this has helped you out of your situation. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care.